What is up, guys? It is Spider back for another soul leveling Arise video. So today we're gonna be some pulls. So it looks like the new fire fan weapon is finally out. So hey, I'll be honest, I just logged into the game. I didn't know it was out, so I was like, oh, okay, let's do some summons. Let's do some summons. Yeah, so you know you can get it on the weapon banner here and also on the custom banner here. So you know, I'm gonna be trying to get it. Probably just one copy is what I'm gonna go ahead and go for. If you want, we can take a quick look at it before we do our summons, right? So basically, that's what it looks like. From what I heard, it basically is supposed to just combo with the Phoenix Bow and basically make just that one better, essentially. So let's see. So some belts with Fire Flower, and then the user and their team members gain 1 instance of Butterflies and Blooms effect. So the Fleeting, Youth and Beauty, damage and MP consumption, same as Fire Flower. Core damage, and then when the skill hits, time slows down and deals heavy break damage, which is pretty good. Heavy break and time slow is pretty nice. And then when the user's attack pierces the target, there's a floor explosion, so basically just like, I'm assuming, AoE damage. And then the Butterflies and Blooms increases fire damage by 3% and increases MP recovery rate by 5%. For 1 minute, it's stacked up to 6 times, so I think it's like a 30% MP rate, which is kind of nice, right? And then if you go one dupe in it, you got a new effect here. That when using their fire break skill, the user and their team members gain 1 additional instance of Butterflies and Blooms effect, which is going to be this one. So you get an extra 6% fire damage, and I'm going to assume it's going to be a 120 MP recovery right now. And then when fire or fleeting, youth and beauty hits, so basically either skill, whatever here, they inflict high fever effect on the target, which a high fever is a new effect, where Jinwoo's fire damage gets increased by 50%. Okay, that's massive. 50% fire damage increase. And then the user regains 10% of their MP one time when they hit a target with the high fever effect applied, only for 8 seconds, but stacking up to 1 time. That's nasty though. 50% increased damage, specifically for fire though, right? But that's huge, right? That is actually a massive buff. And then just a generic 5% or 10% fire damage boost, 2 dupes, 3 dupes here. Let's see, when Butterflies has stacked up to 6 times, it activates the Fire Demon effect. Okay, Fire Demon effect. Only for Sung Jin-woo. Removes all instances of Butterflies and Blooms effect, which is going to be the one that gives you the fire damage increased by 3%. So you remove all that, and prevents the user from getting any more, and increases the user's fire damage and MP recovery by 50%. Okay, that's really huge. Increases their critical hit rate of the user fire core skill by 30%. Okay. That's really big, and increases the critical hit damage of the user's fire core skill by 120. So it sounds like you want to use a Tusk for this. When you use this weapon, it sounds like you want to have a Tusk as the main shadow, because of the whole core damage here. And when the user uses their fire basic skill, they gain super armor for 4 seconds. Oh, super armor, yo, that's cool. Okay, so if you get this weapon with 3 dupes, you can get Sunju can get super armor, because you know the only Esso has that currently, but now he can get it too if you get this weapon with 3 dupes. Unless there's something else they gave him like before, but I don't think so. And then, what else? But it's only for 4 seconds, right? So it's not that long, but it is for 4 seconds, right? And you consume 5% of the user's MP every 3 seconds. If the user currently has 20% or less in their maximum MP, it removes this effect. So basically, once you reach 20 or less MP of your max, then this big damage boost is going to go away. Otherwise, it's an infinite duration of this big damage right here. That's actually massive. And then at 4 dupes, you decrease the cooldown of these Fire Flower and Fleeting Youth by 20%. And 5 dupes, the user's core gauge starts out charged to 100% when they enter a stage, so that's cool. So you can immediately start with your core damage. And then when all the users' equipped weapons are fire, which is something I started to notice because I don't know if you guys remember, but for the New Year's event, the free-to-play weapon, it gave you a damage bonus if the other weapon you were holding onto was a light weapon, which it looks like they're starting to incorporate this, like, specifically only use the same typing of a weapon in a battle, which is interesting. So now this is the second one that has this, or maybe third, but I'm pretty sure it's the second one, where it has you have to use 2 fire weapons. In this case, you'd be using the Phoenix Bow. But if you do that, I can't speak apparently. If you do have that, meet that condition, having another fire weapon, basically their fire damage gets increased by 50%, so an additional 50 right there. So if you do 50 here, and then you get 50 here, and then I think you get another 50 here from this debuff, you're getting like over 150 fire damage increase, which is a really massive boost if you have all those stacked up with each other. And then basically, so you get the 50% damage, fire damage boost specifically, right? And then when the user uses a fire attack while the fire demon effect is active, they recover 10% of their MP. So basically they're saying that whenever this big buff here is going on, you're recovering 10% of your MP, so basically, and it'll cooldown in 3 seconds. So basically you're able to help you stay with this big buff here, giving you massive damage, crit rate, that's pretty big, and then fire core skill damage and all that good stuff. So honestly, pretty good. Now, you know, for most people, right, you want to try to get at max. But I'd say for free-to-play wise, I'd say usually 1 copy is fine, but if you guys want to actually do more endgame content and be more, you know, I guess up to date and do a bit of handle more harder stuff, I'd say honestly 3 dupes is the way to go, just because of this big, massive damage buff you're getting from this fire demon skill. I mean fire demon buff, because it provides so much. It's honestly like really worth it, in my opinion. Especially for the new WBL, where fire is like super aim right now. If there's any stages where you can use Sun Jiwoo in the fire team, you know, he's gonna be doing a lot of crazy work, right? So honestly, I think it's a pretty good weapon personally. And then 6 dupes just makes it to where you're able to keep the fire demon longer essentially, plus giving you an extra big damage boost with the 50% of fire damage boost right there, right? But I think for much free to play, if you're interested in doing more endgame content, I think 3 dupes is probably where you want to stop at least, or at least try to get up to. For me, I usually, like I said, I kind of play casually, so I usually just try to go for 1 copy, but you know, more dupes the better, right? Though at the same time, it would also be good to get something like Plum to like 10 dupes, you know, fully maxed out, and then start working on other weapons, right? Getting those up to like plus 10 as well, like so it'd be like Plum, Moon Shadow daggers, and then the Demon King daggers, and I'll say maybe this one too with the fan. Though it's kind of more of a support role weapon, right? Specifically, right, because it's basically applying a bunch of buffs, and even more buffs if you do, you know, if you do have another fire weapon attached to your, you know, your Sun Jiwoo, right? Yeah, if you guys are summoning, you know, good luck with your summons, you know. It's a really good weapon, so I can't blame you, right? Like, honestly, I'd recommend to get it if you guys can. If you guys are, of course, if you're interested in trying to do the WBL and you are struggling a little bit with Sun Jiwoo, you kind of want a little more fire damage for your fire team when you're running them together. I'm assuming it looks like that weapon's going to help you guys out to be able to clear that kind of content because of all the buffs it provides. Now, I don't know if it's like the most broken thing in the world, but it seems pretty good. Like, the damage buffs seem pretty significant. Like, 150, well, of course, when you get to max 5 dupes, right? But then if you get it at least to, like, dupe 3, that's like 100%, you know, damage boost rate. But mind you, specifically for the 5... Oh, 2? Okay, 2 is pretty huge. But yeah, specifically only if you're running, you know, fire weapons, right? Or those only things that are actually getting buffed.
Power of magic.
I don't know who this is.
You won't regret
I don't care about this character. I don't care about Lee. Okay, yeah, Lee can get out of here. Lee, head on out. I don't need you. I'd rather take a Thomas, the new weapon. There's, you know, something more useful here. Oh, okay, another Charlotte dude. Sure, why not? I'll take another Charlotte dude. Make her even stronger. I think my Charlotte is currently the most duped unit I have on my account, which is a little bit funny. I mean, hey, you know, not too bad, right? Not too bad. You know, you always like getting multiple SSRs in a multi like that. Oh, just skip here. All right. No new weapon, but it is what it is. Yeah, my Charlotte, my Charlotte now is at what is it? 7 dupes now? Is that right? Yeah, like 7 dupes, because yeah, she's at 6 and then that'll be 7. I'm pretty sure. You know, still working on my Thomas, slowly building him up to get him to max dupe. I know some people are the community are a little not too happy about trying to max out Thomas and realize, and then, you know, now being like, oh, what the fuck? Now the fire meta is the best one to go for, you know, and I can't really use my Thomas as much. Like, I don't know. This is like, there's like a whole bunch of different takes you can go with that, right? Where it's like, on one hand, it's like, you know, kind of crappy, right? Because you spent so much. If you spent, you know, free-to-play player, if you were to spend so much for Thomas's team, and then you find out later the newer, harder content that gives new stuff, he's kind of, you know, not that good. And I mean, he can be good, but he's not like the best optimal team to use currently. It can kind of suck, right? But I don't think it's a bad idea, right? If you wanted to go for Max Thomas, because eventually, when we do get more light content, he's going to be really, really good for that, right? Plus, he's good for any current light content, right? And generally, he can still beat most current things. I'm pretty sure he can still do the WPL, the newest one, right? With Thomas. I just think that from what I've heard, I don't think there's no team you can use him on the normal version, but other than that, you can still use him, you know, for most things, right? And he's still fucking broken, right? He's still broken, he's still really cool. So I think even if we did spend a lot for him, I don't think it's a bad idea. I don't think it was a waste of summons. And besides, you know, oh, hey, there we go, let's go! We get the fan actually, not early, but we were able to win the 50-50 and get it, so that's nice. I'm happy with that. I remember when I was summoning for the light staff, I was not able to get it right away. I had to wait a while to be able to pull for it. Honestly, pretty nice though, pretty nice. I'm glad I was able to get one copy. So, hey, that's cool. Also, you know, I have 53 summons, you know, so 50, you know, pretty good. It's because I was doing some of the missions and stuff, and I had to actually clear some story stuff, so I got some more summons from that. I'm not going to be summoning though, I'm going to be waiting, you know. Like I said, my whole shtick with this game is to at least get one copy of every character once, and then maybe pull for dupes later down the line if I really want to. Otherwise, I just go for one copy of each character, and that's kind of how I play, because I play more casually, right? Whereas if you guys are playing a little more like, it's basically trying to clear both endgame content, then yeah, chasing dupes for certain characters is pretty worth it, right? For me, I'm okay with being a little patient. And yeah, also Gina is available now as well. She's gonna be available for another 20 more days. About when I upload this video. But yeah, so if you guys do want to build the fire team, Gina I think is gonna probably be a pretty worthwhile pickup summon to go for. I think she's definitely gonna be helping out the fire team quite a bit. So because she's like the healer, she's the support of the fire team, and then Isol here is the breaker of the team. You know, she's like the core foundation of the team currently. Kind of like Gun he was for the light team essentially, right? And now Thomas being the DPS for that team. Now there's going to be an upcoming character that we've seen in the lobby. I don't know if we can see her right now. No, there's not because she's here. But there's like, if you guys are looking around, right? There's a new character in the lobby here. She's basically the next upcoming character. Now, as for if she's going to be a DPS for the fire team, or if she's going to be something else, honestly, I'm not too sure. They might make her a fire DPS. We'll have to wait and see. I'm kind of hoping she's not, because I'm kind of hoping that Goro, when he comes out, I want him to be the fire DPS for the team, for the fire team. But if she's the fire DPS, that means that two things are going to happen. Either one, Goro will be like a better fire DPS character, or Goro will be, I'm assuming no matter what, he's going to be a DPS character. But if he, depending on what typing he's going to be, he's either going to be fire, or he might be water, and kind of start the resurgence of water 2.0 or whatever, right? Or maybe like water 1.0, I don't know. Because usually in most gacha games, like if there's like a light typing or whatever, or color typing or whatever, I forget, there's like one game where they kind of like did like a typing 2.0 and then 3.0 and stuff like that, right? But in this game, basically, eventually, right, we're gonna start hitting like the next tier of like of teams, right, for characters. So like eventually, Alicia's gonna be out of the meta, right? She's gonna be replaced, right? So she's like water like 1.0, right? Because it would be Alicia, CO. I mean, heck, maybe Girl will be a breaker, right? Be a water breaker, replace CO, because technically water is missing like a good breaker, right? Besides CO, she's like the only one. So maybe Girl will be the water breaker, right? Maybe he'll replace her and be the new foundation for water 2.0. But yeah, basically, like Alicia's like water 1.0, right? And then Cha was 1.0, light, 1.0 light, and then now with Thomas, he's like 2.0 light, right? He's like the next like best light DPS, right? So I'd say he's probably like the first like 2.0 character. And then we have Mirai, who's like 1.0 wind, and then we have a Charlotte, who I guess you could technically say she's also 2.0, right? Because technically our 1.0 dark character was back here. He was technically our 1.0 dark DPS, right? Premier dark DPS at the time, because very early in the game. He was one of the first, if not second, characters to release in Soul Living Arise. So, technically he was the first dark character, right? And then Charlotte came out later, and she replaced him as the better DPS for the dark team. But, Beck is still not too bad with all the buffs that you got. Though you probably still would want to use Charlotte because she just does way more damage, right? But yeah, with that being said, though, guys, go look with your guys' summons, though. If you guys are summoning, I think it's a pretty good weapon. If you guys are interested in trying to build up your fire team a little bit more, specifically the one that like helps out Sun Jin-woo here, right? And then other than that, good luck with your summons also for Gina if you guys are also trying to build a fire team. Currently for the fire team, all you really need is Gina and Esso, and then technically, where is she? Yusun, Yusuhun here. I did pull for her when she released because, like I said, I like keeping up the whole motto of pulling this character once. So, you know, I guess you could say I'm a little bit of a ahead of the mark as to other players, right? Maybe, you know, a little bit of self-glaze to myself. But you know, I think she's pretty good. To be honest, I never really built her up. Like as you can see, like her gear and whatever is kind of whatever. Just because when I pulled her, just like Gina, there's no really content at the time that came out for them to where I could use them, right? So they just kind of sat in the back, and whenever there was like a gate or whatever that wanted fire, I'd just chuck them in there, and you know that'd be it. But yeah, currently you know the fire team is like you know Yusehan, Gina, and now Essel. But then I'm assuming Yusehan's gonna be replaced either with the upcoming character the upcoming hunter that's gonna be coming out. I don't know, like I'm assuming next month or something, right, guys? And then we'll see with Goro. Goro will probably either be. I mean, heck, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe he might not be DPS, right? Because we just had Thomas, but I don't know. I feel like he would probably be DPS because if he's like a breaker, if he's a water breaker, I guess that'd be fine because he would fill on this team. But for someone like him, I kind of feel like a DPS in 100%. Personally, I would love if he was a fire DPS character, but at the same time, I don't really know because I don't read the manhwa, guys. I don't read the manhwa. I'm just waiting for the anime because I just prefer to like watch the anime and kind of like get the enjoyment from there rather than read the manhwa, read the manga, and then watch it later because then the hype dies down because I kind of know already what's happening and I kind of don't really like that feeling because then it kind of loses the hype for me at least a little bit. So, you know, I don't know. Maybe he's fire or maybe he's a different like element and then that'll probably tie into what most likely he's going to be. But from all I know from which is like basically nothing other than what he looks like a little bit, I think it'd be cool if he was a fire DPS to make the fire team like stand toe to toe with the light team a little bit because he kind of seems like Thomas level, right? Though I could be wrong about that, right? You know, like I said, at the end of the day, we'll have to wait and see. The upcoming character, there's a good chance she's probably gonna be the fire DPS character, so then she'll fit in and she'll complete the fire team, and then Goro will probably start a new meta, right? Like maybe Water 2.0 or something, right? We'll have to wait and see on that one. All right, geez, I think there's been a couple of videos where I literally had to say my goodbyes like 3 or 4 times because there's like some extra information that popped up in my head. I was like, oh, forgot to mention this real quick. Also, technically, there was you could get the weapon for free, right? Mind you, quote unquote for free, from here, the shop, right? So if you wanted to, right, you could have just not bought summon tickets here, and you could have just bought these golden tickets because you guys know if you buy 4 of these, you're able to pick or buy a weapon, right? Because you use those. I don't know what where it is though. There's like a shop somewhere, I think, somewhere here, where you basically give those. Oh no, oh yeah. So basically you buy these, right? You buy those 4 tickets. If you have enough currency, you go to crafting. You go to right here, the event SSR, and then there it is. You can craft at least 2 copies, so you need 8 of those if you want 2. Otherwise, you can at least craft 1 minimum. So yeah, you could technically, especially for future weapons, right? You could technically start focusing on these, buy these, and then you could instantly buy a new weapon for Sunju if that was something you guys are interested in. Personally, I'm more interested in hunter rate up draws, so this is what I go for. But honestly, it's not a bad idea if you guys are interested in getting just more weapons for Sunju in the future that are going to be really, really good. This is another option for you, so you can buy the new weapon immediately and have to wait. It's something else. But for me personally, with where my account is at for Sunju weapons, I'm fine with waiting. Granted, there's going to probably be some really cracked weapons in the future, I'd assume, right? But we'll have to wait and see. Anyways, I think I'm going to go back to weapon banner though, because even though I got the fan, even though it's cool, right? I kind of want to get more weapons on my wind weapon here. My Demon King daggers, because I really like it a lot, and I kind of would like to get it more duped up. I'll probably swap out the plum here once I get 2 more dupes to finally finish it off. I'll probably swap on over to the Moon Shadow daggers. And then from there, I'll probably swap to the fan, because the fan does seem like another, like in the same league, or like around the same league at least, as like Plum, Moon Shadow daggers, as like a pretty good support weapon, though it seems more like maybe a step down, maybe towards like the water, water grimoire more, with the whole, because the idea of the new weapon here, the fan weapon, right, is you kind of want to have another good fire DPS weapon with it, because otherwise it's not going to buff any other weapon, whereas Plum can buff up anything because of the whole crit damage buffs it's giving you. Where it's kind of like what's his name again? It's where is he? This dude. It's kind of like Min. Min's like a universal, just general like DPS. He's a buffer, healer. He's just general, right? That's kind of how Plum is. But they're both pretty good. And then whereas the new fan weapon is kind of more like Essel here, where it's specifically for fire, specifically for a certain kind of gameplay, but the fan is more just basically just, hey, as long as you have another fire weapon, you're gonna need more damage. A significant amount too, if you have more dupes, right? Alright. I think with that being said, though, I'm gonna head on out. Got a lot of videos to edit out here, guys. But yeah, good luck with your guys' summons. Hope you guys are able to pull what you're looking for. Otherwise, if you guys are maybe saving for Goro or for anything else, good luck with that too. But with that being said, guys, I'm gonna see y'all later. Peace and take care, everybody.